got the alert. Okay, everybody, welcome to tonight's team call on July 1st. A new month. Who feels like they need a break between the 20th or the 30th and the 1st? Because I sure do. I feel like I'm like, oh, June hangover. But I'm so excited for this month. Nicole and I have been kind of talking about this last month, and we do feel like it was a slower month, but we had so much growth. We had so many people re-rank, hold their rank, or rank. And this is the time that I want to just celebrate everybody. I know that we celebrated each other in Bear Lake. I think everyone that is on the call was in Bear Lake. I don't know where Melissa went, but so this is the time to shout out anybody that you have shout outs for, and I will turn the time over to you guys.
I want to shout out my team. I already did it, but truly, I looked at my back office yesterday or this morning and everybody on my team has been consistently growing. It's been really fun to watch. There's a few people who, since they started sharing, have continued to add to their points. They've never fallen, which I think is just amazing. And it's fun, even with a slow, quote unquote, month, that we still had growth. And when I first started, slow for me was literally 0. But it's so fun to see now that even slower is still growth. And I just get super impressed and have a really good example of teammates of mine and people underneath me who do really well on social media. And that's been really, really helpful for me. And I think it helps all of us as a team. And so I just had to shout out all my ladies. They're doing great.
I love that, Carly. Thank you. Anybody else have any shout outs?
I'll go next. I would love to shout my team out too. So first, Jess, Bowen, and Brianne, they are always just consistently leading with their heart, and just like they are hustling, and I don't even hear about it until I just see them enrolling people, and I love that they're so passionate and driven. And Casey and Priscilla traveled all the way from out of state to come to convention, and I just thought that was so cool that they just really faced some fears and came to meet people that they didn't even know. And Casey shared for the first time on her social media, and it was so beautiful. Just so many things. And I just agree, it's so cool to see, just to go in the back office and just see magic happening behind the scenes. I just love it. You're all doing so great.
Thanks, Tiff. I totally agree with all of that. I was so proud of everybody that flew in from out of state. Like on Jill's leg, your leg. It's cool to see people just come together. Does anybody else have a shout out? I have one, if no one wants to go right now. I actually have a few. You guys, our team is in serious momentum. Even if you don't feel it and you feel like you're in a swamp, you are harvesting, and seeing Autumn even get 2 enrollments the tick of the hour. Autumn, I know your screen is off, but I feel that the more you harvest, the more you stay so consistent, the more that you show that you absolutely love these products and these products have changed your life. And even the community, people watch that. The more you post about the community in Bear Lake, people watch that. And it's really fun to see it unfold. People start to come out of the woodworks where you wouldn't think that would come. And even Kylie, I want to shout out her because she hit senior silver this last week. And she told me, she was like, I'm sick of posting. I don't want to post anymore. And then she didn't, and she stopped posting. And then she started posting again. And then she did a magic post and got 6 level 1s within 2 weeks. But it's amazing to see the more consistent you show up, the more steady you are, and always just kind of focusing on what's right. And I learned this with convention, is not just focusing on what's going wrong. Because I think by human nature, that's what we do. We always look for the negative. We look for what's going wrong. And then our energy portrays that, and people feel it, people see it. And so I've shifted my mindset this last week to what is going right? When I log into my back office, yeah, it stinks to see my points drop, or it stinks to see a subscription turn off, but I need to focus on what's going right. And I've done that. And I have 3 new sharers that are willing to share this next week. And I think it's the energy that I bring. I also want to shout out Teresa. Teresa, you are on fire, my friend. I don't know if you know what it means to be on the building board, but like it's like one in a lifetime to be on that thing. And you are in momentum with like recruiting, being on the board, highest points. Like you have so much momentum going for you. And I'm really, really proud of you. But I also just want to shout out everyone. And I'm not going to name names because I don't want to miss anybody. But like Amberly also hit silver this month. She's under Jess. And then a lot of people either re-ranked or have held rank. And you guys, that is just as important as ranking, is holding rank. And I'm just so, so proud of my team and everyone on this call. I just love you all. So that's my shout out. Does anyone else have a shout out?
I want to shout Jess out for always making it a goal to go silver every month. I don't know if you guys know what a big deal that is, but it is. It shows consistency, and it shows that she is showing up consistently for people, and that, like she's not just expecting everybody else to like push her up. She's like, nope, I'm in this, I'm doing this. And I love that about Jess, because I haven't always enrolled someone every month. Like, I'll be really honest, like I haven't always. And I think it takes like a really strong mindset to be able to do that. And so I'm grateful that she's that example to me and to everybody else. And then I also you guys know I love you all, right? I feel like I need to say everybody's name because you guys are all doing such a good job. But I want to shout out that like Leanne and Jessica, because they told me no several times about going to convention, because there's all the reasons why, and it's like they've never met me and they're scared and all this stuff, and they ended up just being like, fine, I'm doing it, I feel like I need to be there. So they stepped out of their comfort zone to go, and it was just like such a beautiful experience. And I wanted to say that, like, if in your head you're thinking, I don't know anybody that wants to do the business, I want you to know that we live in a world full of billions of people. So if you don't know somebody that wants to do the business, go out and meet new people. Because I never met Leanne or Jessica until convention. That was the first time I had met them. And I just met them online. And so there is endless possibilities to who is out there that needs this business. Okay. So never say, I'm out of contacts. Go find them. There is a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. So I just wanted to say that. And then I think we're ready to move on, Jess, unless you have something else to add.
No, that is awesome. Thanks, Nicole.
Okay. Can I start?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Unless you have something to say. All right. I want to talk, like, I know a couple weeks ago we talked about, can you guys hear me over the TV? My son's watching TV and hears it loud. It's loud, or it's okay? Oh, it's okay. I might be able to turn, he might fall asleep. And so are you awake? He might be. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Okay. So we talked a little bit about a few weeks ago. Oh, you can't even hear it? Wow. Okay. I feel like it's kind of loud in here. We talked a couple weeks ago about like goal setting, and if you were not on that call, we talked about like mapping out the month, but I want to talk a little bit about why it's important. So for me, like every New Year's, you know how you're supposed to like write down your goals and New Year's resolutions. I never did that. I never never ever wrote down a goal. And I always had all these thoughts in my head of what I wanted my life to be like and what I wanted to accomplish. Never wrote them down. I think for me, it was because writing it down felt really scary. Like if I write it down and then I don't do it, now I'm failing. It felt like I couldn't fail if I didn't like state that I was going to go for it. So I want to reiterate the importance of writing down goals. And so if you go and you dig into all the research around why it's important to write down your goals, you guys would be blown away. Okay. This is what sets people apart that are really successful and people that are kind of successful or, struggle more. When you write it down, you are 86 to 96% more likely to achieve that goal. Okay. 86 to 96%. Do you know what percentage you are likely of hitting a goal if you don't write it down? 7%. If you don't write it down, your odds are 7%. So if you guys are all here and you hit a goal without writing it down, like you are the 7%, that's amazing. But you are so much more likely to hit a goal if you put it out there in the universe, if you write it down, if you create clarity in your mind. Okay. So when we talk about claiming your goal and writing it down, saying, I am going for senior gold, I am doing this, it is not just something that we're like, oh, if you feel like it's like, this is really important. Okay. Be a leader with a goal. We want the odds to be in your favor. And I like to say, like, everything is rigged in my favor, right? We want the odds to be in your favor. So write down your goals and have a really clear intention. When I started writing down my goals, I hit them so much quicker and I became like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like literally, I don't think I could have ever hit Emerald if I wouldn't have written it down. Like if I would not have gotten so super clear on why I'm doing it, why are you doing it? Like, why does it matter? If it's just kind of like, whatever, you know what I mean? I feel like it's just kind of like, whatever, be clear on your goal. So that was one thing that I really wanted to talk about. Jess, do you have anything to like contribute to that or anybody else on the call?
I want to add to that because so I wrote down my goal that I was going to go Emerald, but a big scary thing that I did was tell everybody that I was going Emerald. And I remember telling Nicole, like, I'm just not going to tell people, we're just going to do this. But I think the importance of cheering each other on and knowing what someone's going for actually helps your own goal. When I tried to go Emerald in April, you guys, I did not reach it. And it was like, I told Nicole, like, I'm so embarrassed. Like I went for a big goal and I didn't make it. And then I ranked the next month and I was like, you know what? That just shows that it's doable. You guys, any rank, even ranking silver, it is doable. And if you can write it down, make it very clear, and then find accountability, even if that's with your spouse, your kids, your team. If you can say it out loud, we are all going to rally for you and cheer for you and watch you achieve that goal. Because what's going to happen is you say out loud, Teresa, I am going for senior gold. What's going to happen? We're going to see it. We're going to help cheer you on. And then your downline's going to see it. And when you have a downline that's sharing and wanting success for you, they're going to do it. It's like you ride the wave together. So I think it's really important to not be ashamed of going for a goal and then missing it. My husband tells my kids all the time, and I don't know if it's a good way to say it, but he's like, I'd rather have you shoot for the stars and miss than shoot for a pile of poop and make it. Like you would rather just have that potential of getting to that goal, even if it's not on your own timeline. But I know every single buddy on this call is capable of their next rank, or is capable of re-ranking, or is capable of double ranking. Like you guys all have potential that I see. It's like, I'm like the mom and I see all you guys, like, you know, when you see the potential in your kids, but they don't see it in themselves and they doubt themselves. I see all the potential in every single one of you. You're the person that needs to take that cap off though. I can't do it for you. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable and to lead in the blind. And that's what Nicole did to me. She was like, I'm going for Emerald. I've never done this, but I'm doing this. And I watched her walk in the dark and then I followed her. And it's like a ripple effect, right? We all kind of just follow our leader or our sidelines or our uplines. And so when you guys, I want you to write down a goal for July. It doesn't have to be a rank goal. It could be going silver every month. And you better believe your bottom dollar. I have ranked silver every single month because I intentionally write down that goal on the first of the month. I say, I'm going to re-rank silver. I don't even talk about Emerald. I just want to re-rank silver. And I write it down and I have enrolled 3 or more every single month. I enrolled 7 last month. And I always tell the universe, I have no idea where these enrollments are coming from. I'm not even talking to anybody. but I'm going to get 3. I'm going to reach 3 people this month and I'm going to change their freaking life. And I do it. And I think it's important that we believe it here, because then these are our thoughts, and then our thoughts turn into actions, and then our actions make us do something, and then we do it. So I want you guys all to write a goal down right now that is on a good timeline. You can even write it in the chat if you want, so that we can all see your goal and what you're going
Yeah,
for.
announce it, because I feel like when you speak it out loud, you're way more likely to actually like commit and go for that, you know?
And that's where I think it comes with being scared to ask people, because let's be honest, I could not have gotten to Emerald, right? Without any of you. Nicole wasn't able to get Emerald without her team. And I look back, and I told Nicole this today. I said, I am so glad you didn't give up on me 2 years ago. I said no to her probably 20 times, you guys. And it was like rude. I was like, stop bugging me. And I remember she even called my mom to see if my mom like wanted to order. And I was like, Nicole, leave my mom alone. Like, I text Nicole that. It's like, don't bug my mom. Don't bug me. I'm done. Like, don't bug me. I don't need a business. And if Nicole would have said, oh my gosh, I took that so personal. And she probably did at the time. But if she would have given up on me, you guys, think about where I would be right now. Like, I would have not shown up for the people that were waiting for me. Yeah, I'm sure Melissa and Carly and Tiffany, like my level 1s, would have heard about Plexus eventually. But like, I'm just so glad that she didn't take it personal when she was putting a goal to go senior gold. I think it was at the time she was gold when she was asking me to share. That like, it changed not only her health, her business, and her life, but it's changed mine. So like, don't think about it as being selfish toward you for setting that goal and asking someone to share, and don't take it personal. Like, if they say no, be like, okay, that's fine. Right now is not the time. I'll ask her next month, and then ask her next month, because guess what? You're eventually going to get that yes. And not only will it change their life, but it will change your life. So that's like where I want you to set with that goal setting, is like, you're not going to hit your next strike by yourself. There are people that do, but realistically, like, you have to be involved with your team and asking them to share. And just remember, don't take it personal, because guess what? Sometimes they can say no because they're getting puked on by their kid. And the last thing they need is to be sharing on social media about Plexus. It was a bad day.
It's
It was
just a bad timing.
Yeah. And I'm like, and then you might get them on a day that they're feeling fantastic. I got a text from Tiffany today, and Tiffany has been very vocal about her improvements, but to hear her say it again, saying you've changed my life, you guys, it is worth bugging Tiffany over and over again to share. Like, knowing how far she's come, I promise there is someone waiting for you to ask them. It's just all about the right timing and loving them where they're at. And that's part of reaching that goal. Tiffany's shaking her head. So I want you to know that, like, focus on what's going right. And right now I'm focusing on what's going right. I'm focusing on Tiffany and the Tiffany's that need me. I'm focusing on Carly's and Melissa's and Teresa's and Autumn's. Like, I'm not focusing on the person that's saying, I'm going through detox. I mean, this isn't for me. And they've been on it for a week. I love them, but I'm like, I've got a mission and I'm going to freaking go for it. So that's kind of what I wanted to add. Like,
Well,
that's clear goal setting right there as well.
right. And I just have to say, like, if me and Jess both wouldn't have like spoken it into the universe of like, we are doing this, if we would not have cared enough to write that down, I personally don't think we would be Emerald right now. And I don't think that we would be changing some of the lives that we're changing right now, because if you're just kind of laid back and you're not a leader with a goal, it doesn't push you out of your comfort zone. Do you know what I mean? And growth just doesn't happen in your comfort zone, right? You're not going to be as successful when you're in your comfort zone. When I commit to going to Emerald, it means that I commit to leading people, that I commit to blessing lives. But if I don't have those goals, I am not as like, I'm not looking for those people because I'm comfortable, right? So that's kind of how I see it. I don't think I would be Emerald today if I wouldn't have been like, okay, I'm going for it. And I know that it wasn't just me. I know it was all of us, but I think that when you put it out there, it just sends out this like vibration and people want to go together, right? Creates momentum together. So I want to read some of these comments. Autumn says, I am going gold. Oh my goodness. Yay, Autumn. I'm so excited. Melissa says, I'm going to grow by 100 points and create 2 silvers. Awesome. That is a huge goal. I remember the first time that me and Jess grew by 100 points in like, I think it was for a contest to go to Kona, and we had to grow by 100 points within the 3-month period. And I was like, I can't grow by 100 points in a 3-month period. That was a limiting belief I had, right? Growing 100 points in 3 months was a huge deal for me. But I grew by 450 points the month that I went Emerald. So that was just a limiting belief. It didn't mean it wasn't possible. It was just something I thought wasn't possible. So if you have something that you think is not possible, just because you've never done it doesn't mean that you can't do it. I'd love to hear more goals if you guys have them. And then I am going to share my screen real quick, and I haven't done this in a while. Let me see. I can't. Oh, how do I share my screen? I feel like they changed it.
It's on the bottom in the middle. Mine's highlighted green.
Oh, it's right there. I'm like looking around everything. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Can you guys see my screen or no? What is this? Desktop? Can you see it?
I can see your confusion on your face, but
Shoot, I don't know. Let's see. Sure.
you
Okay.
might just have to go over it.
Can you see it now?
Uh-uh.
Oh, I feel like they changed something. Allow app below. Shoot,
You might just have to go over it, Nicole.
I can. I just feel like it makes a difference to have.
Just read Lauren's comment.
What did she say?
She reminds me of the old Verizon commercials. Can you hear me now? I
I
can like hear it.
don't know. Shoot. Okay, well, I wanted to share with you the success sprints. Have you guys seen those yet? Have you seen what the success sprint is?
You guys all got an email. So if you are not on your phone, I mean, you could turn off your camera. You can go to your email and type in Q3 sprints. It's actually in the July email. And if you scroll down, there's a spot that says Success Sprint Q3 Toolkit. You can open up that toolkit and review the Q3 sprints right there as well.
Okay, well, I don't know. I can't figure this out. That's really a bummer. So they are amazing. First of all, I really wanted you guys to see it. I could maybe hold it up, but I don't think you'll see it as well.
Autumn's shaking her head. Yes, I love you, Autumn.
What is she saying? Did you see them?
In her head,
Autumn?
yes.
They are so good. Like I mean, like I was excited last month, but I'm like, what, they like doubled everything. Like I feel like it's amazing. Okay, so how it's working is once you know how normally it's like you hit level 1, you unlock level 1 and you get this, and then you unlock level 2 and you get that. You get a pick. You get to pick what you want on the levels, which I thought was really exciting. So like I don't know if you can see, but like there's like a coffee, like cool coffee maker thing. There's this pan set that you can use for your kitchen. There's like headphones. There's this Kendra Scott jewelry, which I love. Like that's what I want. That's what I'm going to pick. There's different jewelry options, and these are all for level 1, which is awesome. Okay. This is still level 1. There's like a massage experience, like a spa experience. So if you don't like jewelry, you could go to a spa. There's this like Theragun, which that would be tempting too, because my husband would really love that. I feel like, okay. Then when you get to level 2, you get to pick these. So there is this what is this called? A smoker. So if you don't have a smoker already, there's like this attachment tool for blow drying your hair that's Dyson, jewelry. So you guys, I can post this link and you guys can go look, but I want you guys to really go look. Like you can earn this KitchenAid. Seriously, I have one that's like 14 years old and I'm like, I want that one. But like I feel like the prizes, like there's like a 2-night getaway with like your spouse or like anybody, like a friend. There are like stinking good prizes. And then there's also like this Pilates reformer machine, which I'm like, dang, I want that. Or like a paddleboard. There are so many options. And there's like in level 1 and in level 2, or no, sorry, level 3 and 4 or something like that. There's 2 different ones where you can earn getaways, which I'm like, sweet. Like I could earn like 2 days there and 3 days there and make it like a 5-day getaway or something like that. But I got like, my husband was like, dang, those are really good. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like we don't talk about the prizes enough. And I personally am like highly motivated by the prizes. Like I feel like as mothers, a lot of times, like we spend all of our money on our kids, right? Like their sports camps, their sports, their friends, the carnival, like all this stuff. And sometimes it's like, oh, I can't justify buying a new KitchenAid, or I don't want to spend money to go to the spa, or whatever it is for you, or like the jewelry or a getaway for your spouse and you. It's hard sometimes to justify that. And sometimes even when you have the money, it's hard to justify it because you're like, I'm a saver. I don't want to spend the money. And I just think like this is a tool that we are underutilizing on our team when we're talking to people about the business. I know for Chanel ranked Emerald, and she is like a phenomenal leader. The reason why she's doing the business is because of the shopping spree. Literally, Emily Gibson reached out to her and she was like, hey, like you shared a little, where are your success sprint points? And she's like, what is that? And she's like for the retreat, the success or the leaders retreat points. And she was like, you guys do like retreats? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, the top prize is a $2,000 shopping spree. And she was like, sold, I'm going for it. Like we don't talk about that to our team enough. And because of that shopping spree, she is now an Emerald. But think if nobody would have reached out to her about that. Everybody is incentivized by different things. And just because you're not incentivized by something doesn't mean someone else won't be. So if prizes don't incentivize you, or if you have a belief in your head that I'm not good enough to earn those prizes, I'll never earn the shopping spree, I'll never earn the top prize, that is a limiting belief you guys have. And if you have that limiting belief, you're never going to do it, right? You have to get on top of your mindset and realize that you are all capable of earning the top prize, and that there is somebody in your back office or in your life right now that would be highly motivated by earning that. But if you never talk about it, I'm like, nobody's going to go for it if they don't know it's there. You know what I mean? So talk about this. I personally, I mean, you can post about it, but I feel like when I post about it, I don't know, maybe people see it or don't see it, or maybe do like 3 quick slides in your stories. People watch stories to me more than they're going to read like a long post about it. But I would say reaching out individually to people that have kind of dabbled around sharing, or maybe are silver on your team, and tell them about it. Let them know. Send them the little thing. I'll put it in the thread and be like, hey, like I know you've kind of thought about sharing, and I like just have to share this with you because this is so exciting. And I'm going for the top prize, but I want to see, like, would you want to go for it with me? You know what I mean? So I think that that's an underutilized tool. I think we need to talk about it more. And I asked Teresa if she would share on here, because Teresa has been like on fire, like Jess said earlier. And she wanted the Dyson, and she was like, hey, what can I do? And so she helped map it out, we helped map her out a little bit. And she was like, hey, this and this and this. And she got really clear on it. And like, she totally earned the Dyson, which is so exciting. And I just want her to share a little bit about that, a little bit about like what she's doing right now to get so many enrollments. What is working for you? Like, share all your secrets. We're like, tell us right now, because you're amazing. So go ahead and share that. And then we'll go from there.
Okay, well, thank you. It's always weird to hear that you're amazing, right? Because I don't know, it's just weird. Like we grow up not like being told to be like humble and not say things like that about ourselves, but when other people say it, it's really nice. So thank you. And I still don't think of myself as that. I'm just, doing what I love to do right now. But I think for me is I've had like a big mindset shift, and that took a lot of work. That meant that I started to listen to podcasts that were going to help me have that right mindset. It started with me watching less Netflix. And, like, yeah, it's great to binge watch your favorite show, but it's even greater to actually be able to connect with people and change their lives. And so along with my mindset shift, I've really started to like write down quotes that really stand out to me, because that helps me get through my days. Like I have bad days just like everyone else. And like this last month, I had some really bad days, but people wouldn't know that, right? Unless I show up and I share it, which I do because that keeps it real. But I think writing down different quotes that are inspiring to you and posting them around your house. So even on your bad days, you see them, put them on your bathroom mirror, put them in your kitchen, on your fridge, anywhere that you're frequently at, like write them down and put them there, and then just read them to yourself and tell yourself like, yes, remember back to when you wrote them, right? And just say, okay, I wrote this when I was feeling like this, and I need to go back to that feeling. Because I've had times where I'm like, I don't really want to keep doing this. Like, what's the purpose? What am I even doing? I feel like I'm so worn out. But, every time I show up, people are waiting for me. People are there to respond, and people are watching us, even if we think that they're not. And like some of my favorite quotes are like, the one is, losers quit when they fail, winners fail until they succeed. And that one is so, I don't know, like that just resonates with me, because my whole life I feel like I have been a loser, right? Because I quit every time I fail at something, and I've never stuck with something this long. But with this, like I'm sticking with it, and it's making me a winner. And it's so nice to be with a company that actually makes us feel like winners and be acknowledged, because not a lot of people get that from their job or from their coworkers or, whatever. And so that's just so nice. And another one too that I have always running through my head is, don't let the praise get to your head, and don't let the criticism go to your heart. So that one is big, right? Because for me, like I said, it's so awesome when you get recognized for what you're doing, even though you feel like you may not be doing a lot, like me. But it is nice. But don't let that praise get to your head, because then you get ahead of yourself and you start like making mistakes, and you start to not connect with people like you should. Because in this business, you need to keep connecting with people, as uncomfortable as it is, or even if you don't want to sometimes because of being afraid of what they're going to say. You need to continue to show up and just like have those awkward conversations. Like if people are going to stop their subscription, it's better to hear it from them first, and maybe try to help them through whatever they're going through and keep them on the products. Or if they're having like a hard time personally, and they're just like, I just can't afford it, that's when you talk about the business. And I think too, for me, something that's shifted a lot with that mindset is I've just been more comfortable with sharing about the business. And it's like Nicole said, we don't talk about those incentives, but those are really nice. And, like I am driven by the incentives, but I'm also driven by helping people. And someone else might be completely driven by making money. Someone else might be just all about helping others. So it just really, you need to talk about all the aspects of it in order to really find all the people who need it. Because I don't know, like when I was in Bear Lake the first time back in March, I was like, oh, why am I here? This is so uncomfortable. I only knew Michelle. I'd met a few of you like when we went out to dinner, but it wasn't like I knew you, you know, and so it's always uncomfortable to go and be with a group of people that you don't know. But once I was there, I was so happy I was there because I did catch that vision of being like, okay, this is where my life is now, but this is where I want my life to be. And I started using like my entire upline as examples to me. You know, like I saw Christy and like her story and just how much she's changed. And then Kimberly and how dependent she was on Ambien and now she's completely off of it. And Katie and like her weight loss journey, you know, like all of them needed something a little bit different, but they've all been so successful with it. And it's because they caught that vision and they didn't quit when they failed. They kept going. And so now look at them, like they're winners at this company, you know, in my eyes, like they are rock stars, like you guys all are, because all of you are choosing to show up when nobody is telling you to. You're all showing up for yourselves and your families. And I don't know, like that to me is such a good example. Because really, like if I didn't have all of you ladies, how would I do this by myself? You know, like that is so awesome too. Like that's a big selling point, I think, for our team. Be like, you know, even if you don't want to do a business, even if you don't want to get healthy, you need to come and meet these women because they're amazing and they're going to be just like the friends that you never thought you needed. And so I mean, that's kind of just what I'm doing. Like I just had a big mindset shift and I just show up even on my bad days and I refer to my quotes a lot and I see them all the time. Like I said, I have them everywhere in my house on sticky notes. And I do say them out loud and I'm like, yes, okay, I remember when I wrote that down. And that's when I was thinking of how nice it'll be in like 5 years. Who knows where I'll be, but like in 5 years when we have finally like built the house of our dreams, you know, like what will I be doing to the house, or what will the kids be able to participate in that we can pay for without having to like budget for it, or I don't know, like just so many possibilities. And so like don't ever not show up because you're having a bad day. Always show up, because as long as you keep going, people are going to start keep showing up and your business will grow and you will succeed.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Really, the magic is in the consistency, right? Like there's been a lot of months where I don't feel like showing up at all, you know, and if I can just do my best, like you said, people will relate to that. And I do think that there's something to it when we push through a mental barrier, when we push through it instead of just throwing the towel in and being like, life's too hard. But when we push through that mental barrier, even though it stretches us in a way we didn't think was possible, like there have been months when I'm like, I don't have anything else to give. But when you push through that and you find that you do have more to give, I feel like it changes you, right? In such a beautiful way. I have to share what Tiffany says. She says, I hit my 2-year milestone at my current job and they sent me a $10 gift card. These prizes are awesome. That to me is like so many people in their current job that feel under-recognized. You guys, these prizes for showing up are incredible. Like to me, I'm like, talk about that. Talk about it. And I wanted to also say that I think for the next 3 months, it says it's part of the Q3. So for the next 3 months, they're doing a 3, 6, and 9 bonus, right? So when you enroll 3, you get 100. When you enroll 6, you get 200. When you enroll 9 in a month, you get another 200. So that's a total of $500 in bonuses each month that can be earned. To me, I think about all the moms and dads that an extra $500 a month would change their life. Talk about it. Let people know, hey, maybe you don't want to do a business, but would, you know, if you help 9 people this month, just refer them to me. You could make this much money. You could make an extra 500, and that's on top of like their regular commission, which I think is absolutely just so generous. Let's see. Okay, so I'm trying to catch up on the group chat a little bit. Anyways, so yeah, that to me, the money and the bonuses are life changing for people. Don't be shy to talk about it. And I really do feel like that's a shift like Teresa has had, like she said, is that she's been more open about the business and talking about it. And I really believe like you're going to find your people, Teresa, because your heart is shifted and changed. So, okay, Jess wants to talk a little bit about something. So go ahead and take that away, babe.
Okay, Teresa, I loved everything you said because one thing I've been really shameful about is like, can you guys hear me? Okay, sometimes my computer doesn't like show that I'm talking. When you share about the product, you're going to find product users. And Nicole has said this to me so many times and I like never believed her, but now I'm believing her. And when you share about the business, you're going to find business builders. You're going to find business users, even though the product might be not the first thing that comes to their mind, but as you shift into being comfortable and sharing both, you're going to find both, and then you're going to start to move the needle. The one thing I really wanted to focus on really quick before I turn the time back over to Nicole is the prizes are awesome. The ranks are awesome. The business building bonuses are awesome. The bonuses for enrolling 3, 6, and 9 is awesome. But for me, what's awesome for me, you guys, and I know you guys have heard me talk about this, and I'm just going to talk about it again and be a bug in your ear, is it gave me financial freedom. And it's not in my bank account, right? It's not money that I can hold or a credit card that I can swipe and not worry. It's freedom showing up for my kids. It's freedom knowing that this will be the first maternity leave after 7 pregnancies, you guys, that I don't have to go back working full time. I can actually enjoy my newborn. I've never been a stay-home mom. I've never been a part-time stay-home mom. I've always worked full time. Always, always, always. And that trumps all of the money that's in my bank account. It allows me to do what I love from the sidelines of my kid's soccer game. I can quickly send a text when she's in timeout, or when she's sitting down, I can quickly do a text in carpool line. I can't do that with my nursing job. I'm stuck between 4 walls and I can't leave. And I know Tiffany feels the same way. Nursing is great. It's giving me a lot of gratification. I worked my tail off to get my bachelor degree. And I'll tell you right now, you guys, my Emerald check was $3,000 more than my RN check in a month. You guys, $3,000 more for a bachelor degree in nursing for something that I love more. And I hate to say that because I know I've always wanted to be a nurse. I've always wanted to serve people. I always wanted to help people feel better, but I would help them and then I would never see the outcome. And with my job now, I get to see the outcome. I get to see them thrive. I get to see them going from bedridden to running Ragnar. I wouldn't have seen that if I was Melissa's nurse, but I get to see that because I am part of Melissa's journey with gut health. And yes, we're still human and have bad days, but I get to see these women and you guys thrive. And that is way more gratification than just the money in my pocket, right? And so even now, and I know Tiffany just quit her job. Tiffany, I hope I'm okay to say that, but to see Tiffany also find that same passion where her heart is also nurse minded. I know she loves to help people. And then I see all of you who maybe don't have a bachelor's in nursing, but all also have different degrees and different backgrounds and different experiences and authentic, like bring your authentic personalities and learning about these products and changing lives from the sidelines of your kids' soccer games. I want that for every single person on this call. I don't care how much money you make. It could be $1 million. You guys, you need money to have experiences. You need money to serve. I've been able to serve more than I ever have in my entire life. Like send dinners to people. I might not cook them, but sending dinners costs money. Making dinners for my neighbors costs money. I want to go pay off a primary children's hospital bill this year. That is my, like one of my whys, because there is a mama that is going to bury their child this year. And I want to lift that financial burden. I know Tiffany's why of what she wants to do with financial relief and that freedom. And that's what this month is about. I'm so patriotic, you guys. I am like red, white, and blue. I bleed it. But like freedom as far as like, you guys are all capable of being the mom, the wife, the friend, the sister, the roommate. I don't know what your role is, but to have that financial freedom to show up for someone and not have financial burden on top of that. I know there are people on this call that live paycheck to paycheck, and Nicole was one of them. And to see her put Dallin in basketball camp when she never thought that was going to be part of her lifetime makes me emotional. And she's not even my downline. Like, I want financial freedom and financial relief for every single person. And so that's where it comes with abundance. You have to be okay with saying, yeah, it's nice getting paid being a gut health coach. Really, we spend time. How much hours do you guys put in a day and a week for Plexus? We should get compensated for that. And there should be no shame, because I'm helping people. I'm helping people find physical and financial and emotional, mental healing. And I'm getting paid for that. Like, people that, how many times do you guys swipe up on an Instagram story and buy something after someone advertises lotion? I am so guilty. You guys, they're getting paid to do that. And I don't feel bad. I'm like, oh, swipe up. I don't have a swipe up option. But why are we having shame with a business, right? And that's one thing that, like, I've even learned from Teresa. There's no shame in sharing and helping people, because you're going to help someone pay their mortgage. You're going to help someone pay their grocery bill. You're going to help someone buy a battery for their car. Like, you're going to help these people live their life and not feel like they're being financially scared in scarcity. You have to trust money. And that's something that I've had to learn as well. And then you're also going to give a mom the opportunity to not miss her kids' soccer games. Like, how cool would that be to be like, oh my gosh, my friend got to go to her first soccer game of the season to see her kids score a goal. Not all of us have that luxury of doing that all the time. And it's because of the world we live in. I feel like 20 years ago, we could have one income. And now I feel like there needs to be two. So I'm so passionate about finding financial relief and freedom for everyone on top of health and healing homes. So that's like what I want to share, Nicole. I know you have like 10 minutes, so take it away, but I love you all. And let's just make July the most powerful, rising freedom month of the year, because this is such a special place in my heart. And I want this for all of you.
Yep, I agree. And this is when Jess was saying this, the thought came to my head. Let's make this July the month that we help lend freedom to other people struggling. Whether that's with the business or not, but I really believe there's a lot of people out there living paycheck to paycheck. And I want to help people find that freedom this month. So talk about the freedom from the business this month. And then, golly goodness, I just have to say, Tiffany is like 4 shifts away from being done. And she told me when we went on a hike was that last month? I don't even know. Months go by so fast now. That she was able to quit because like she's pretty much like making as much with Plexus as she was doing that. And I was just like blown away by that. Like, that she is able to have those Saturdays with her husband and her family now and be able to work during the week from her phone, which to me is like, oh my goodness, I want to bless homes. I want to heal hearts and homes. And I know that we're doing that by giving people that financial freedom. Okay, I want to challenge you guys to make a goal to earn every single Q3 success sprint prize. Okay. If you are like me a year ago, I had never earned them all. And it wasn't like success sprint, but they did like the leaders retreat one. And I had this huge mindset around like, I don't think I can earn it. I don't think that like I could earn the shopping spree. And we were like digging in the last night. Like I barely earned that shopping spree by like 5 minutes. You guys, but I want you to know that every single one of you is capable of earning it. If you believe, if you're in your head saying, oh, I can't go for it, or I don't need those prizes, I want you to make it a goal to go for it all the way. Okay. And if you are thinking, I don't need any of the prizes, then I want you to earn those prizes for somebody else and be a blessing. I want you to earn every freaking prize. And I want you to give away a smoker to a family that can't afford it. And I want you to give away a jewelry set to a mom that has depression. I want you to earn a trip for somebody that can't afford to go on a trip with their husband for their honeymoon or anniversary, whatever, not honeymoon. I want you to earn it for someone else. It doesn't have to be about you. I don't care whether you want it or not. Earn it because you're blessing lives and because you have the ability to show up for somebody that is struggling. So make it a goal. Who's in? Make it a goal to earn every single prize. Okay. And honestly, like for me, I'm like, I want to give one of those prizes away to somebody struggling. I don't need the prizes. And it's easy to be like, I don't need them. I'm just not going to go for it. I don't need them. I can afford to go on a trip with my husband if I want to. But to me, I'm like, somebody else can't, or I could earn something that would just pick somebody up. So make it a goal to earn it. And I want to say, if you're thinking, I don't have any leaders, there's no way I can earn it. You guys, the best way to earn it is by creating silvers and duplication. And you can become a master silver developer. Okay. There are so many tools. I don't have time to go into it right now, but like, I want to talk about this again next week. I want to talk about how you can help people go silver. And I think a huge mindset shift that I have had is that when I'm asking someone to share, a lot of times I'm just like, hey, would you give me a shout out? Like, would you shout me out for like helping you get started and what the products have done for you? I'm not asking everybody that's going silver to do a business. I know that a lot of people will go silver and they'll never do anything else with the business. But developing silvers, I think it shows a lot of leadership skills when you start developing silvers, because a lot of times people don't know what to do, and they might post and how many of you have like had someone post and they had all these comments and likes and people interested and then they did nothing? Have you guys had that experience where they did nothing and you're literally like, I don't get it? Like, because they don't have their own leadership skills. They don't know how to lead somebody through that sale. And so I want you to know that if you have that happen, you take the bull by the reins. You go into that thread and you put that person in a three-way with that person that made a post, and you say, hey, I know that she's busy right now, but I know you're interested and I would love to share that information with you. And she'll chime in when she can, but I just saw that you were interested and I would love to share more information with you. That's not pushy. They can choose to ignore you and never respond, or they can choose to say no, thank you. Or maybe you'll find that person that is like, thank you so much for reaching out. I didn't know how to order, right? So use your leadership skills to move people through that process, because really that's what it comes down to, is that you take the bull by the horns and you go for it. So thank you so much, you guys. I really hope that you guys will go for your goals, set an intention, speak it into the universe, let your team know about your goals, let people know what your why is. Like, open your heart to it. And thank you for those, like for Teresa, thank you for sharing your heart about that. I really appreciate it. And for everybody that posted in the comments as well. I love you guys, and I hope you have a great night and a month full of lots of freedom. Love you.